Ferrari is a premium sports vehicle manufacturer headquartered in Maranello, Italy. Enzo Ferrari founded Auto Avio Costruzioni in 1939 from the Alfa Romeo racing section, producing its first automobile in 1940 and its first Ferrari badged car in 1947. This video will discuss Ferrari cars. Please subscribe to our channel before starting this video. Unlike competitors Lamborghini and Porsche, Ferrari has never produced a two-seat vehicle with AWD/4WD. Every Ferrari for the street and racing circuit has been RWD. AWD was first seen in the Ferrari FF4-seater and was later carried over to the GTC/4 Lusso. Ferrari employs advanced traction control technologies to provide the degree of safety that others normally associate with AWD. Ferrari has never produced an SUV and is unlikely to produce one in the future. Again, unlike its competitors Lamborghini, Maserati, Porsche, and Bentley, who have all produced SUVs, Ferrari remains committed to its race vehicle raison d'être, now in its 70th year. Ferrari will not even produce a four-door sedan, leaving that task to corporate sibling Maserati and its Quattroporte/Ghibli. The Scuderia Ferrari insignia used on Ferrari racing cars and many of their street racing vehicles depict Ferrari's horse stable racing team. Many people are unaware that Enzo Ferrari raced Alfa Romeo vehicles with this logo before creating the Ferrari S.P.A. in 1947 and racing under that name. The 1935 Alfa Romeo Bimotor is one example of this. Ferrari is the only automaker with a dedicated racetrack for testing. The Pista di Fiorano, Fiorano for short, is a 1.86-mile track where each corner is designed to test specific aspects of the vehicle's chassis, braking, and road holding capabilities, among other things. It can also simulate corners from various Formula One Grand Prix tracks around the world. The track is used for Formula One racing cars, privateer racing cars such as the FXX-K, and the development of all-street cars. While many other manufacturers have come to rely on the Nürburgring Nordschleife circuit in Germany for testing and development, Ferrari primarily does so. The original mission of Ferrari was to simply build race cars. The street cars existed solely to finance the racing division. Over time, street cars developed their own identity and significance, eventually overshadowing race cars in terms of recognizability. Many people would find it difficult to imagine a world without Ferrari street cars, but the old man himself, Enzo Ferrari, was said to dislike them. As a result, one of the key elements that distinguish a Ferrari is its use of race technology in street cars. Often, in the past, this meant simply using race engines as the foundation for street car motors, whether they were vintage V12s or turbo-era F1 cars from the 1980s. Much of the downforce engineering learned in F1 began to be applied to modern vehicles in the mid-1990s. Starting in the late 1990s, Ferrari finally offered their first automated manual transmission, the single-clutch F1 transmission. This was 10 years after the transmission made its debut in the F1-89 Grand Prix car for the 1989 Brazilian Grand Prix. This was the first proper automated manual transmission for a road car, and other manufacturers quickly followed suit. Ferrari was obsessed with the V12 engine. It featured the finesse and flair of his automobiles, as well as excellent performance and sound. For the longest time, he had no intention of creating any other kind of engine. Alfredo Dino, his son, died at the age of 24 from muscular dystrophy. He was working on a V6 engine design for racing vehicles when he died, and Ferrari developed the Dino 206S race car in his honor. The 206-246 automobiles were eventually built under the Dino label, which led to the V8-powered 308 GT/4 Dino. From 1947 through 1968, all Ferrari road vehicles were V12-powered, hence Ferrari used a distinct brand name for non-V12 automobiles. This changed in the late 1970s when Ferrari struggled to sell these vehicles in a difficult market handicapped by the oil crisis, and the Dino brand perished as a result. Even today, some purists believe that a Ferrari is not a Ferrari unless it features a V12 engine. Except for Lamborghini and Pagani, Ferrari is the newest of the Italian automakers. Alfa Romeo, Fiat, Lancia, Maserati, and Bugatti, if it is officially an Italian firm, are all at least 30 years older than Ferrari. While Ferrari receives a lot of attention and is held in high regard, it is not the oldest Italian manufacturer. When it comes to Lamborghini and Pagani, most people agree that Ferrari had a significant role in their development. According to tradition, Ferruccio Lamborghini founded Lamborghini after being unsatisfied with a personal Ferrari road vehicle he possessed, 250 GT 2+2, allegedly because of its clutch. So, when Lamborghini met Enzo Ferrari, he was so insulted that he founded his own car business out of spite. It is a powerful and significant automobile firm in its own right. Likely, it would not have begun without this conflict. Horacio Pagani was a former Lamborghini employee who founded his own vehicle business in 1992 and became renowned for producing hypercars beginning with the Zonda C12 in 1999. Pagani is still alive and well after 18 years. His firm is a step away from being encouraged by Ferrari. Ferrari is the most successful automobile manufacturer in terms of building excitement, demand, and exclusivity. They have taken their racing program and added a degree of panache that Lamborghini, Porsche, and McLaren have not been able to match. If all four of these vehicles looked, sounded, and drove similarly, the Ferrari would almost always be deemed the most desirable. It is simply the way things are, and the dealership network has been able to better regulate supply/demand than its rivals. Nobody in the automobile business has established a stronger brand identification than Ferrari. Ferrari has stepped in to assist its business brethren. Initially, in the early 2000s, Ferrari directly owned Maserati and provided motors and technical assistance. Despite leaving the Fiat umbrella, Maserati has connections to Ferrari engineers. Ferrari also worked on the powertrain and suspension design for the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio sports sedan, which may be regarded as a Ferrari sports sedan in certain regards. Ferrari could never sell sedans or luxury automobiles in the sub-$200,000 price range for branding concerns, but via the Fiat empire, Ferrari may influence the end product with these other cars. Regardless of the criticisms leveled over the years, e.g., lackluster performance in the late 90s/early aughts, lackluster styling since the early aughts, the one constant that cannot be denied over essentially the entire 70-year run of cars is that they all sound very good to amazing, with never a bad sounding car. Even the Dino's V6 and the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio's V6 motors sound quite nice, far better than a conventional V6 motor. When one thinks of Ferrari, the engine sound is almost always the most consistent quality the car manufacturer provides, which most other brands cannot say. Finally, throughout their 70-year existence, Ferrari has manufactured a plethora of various models and modifications within these vehicles, despite their veneration and rarity. Whereas an extreme Porsche or Lamborghini lover could recite all of the models in that company's history, a Ferrari enthusiast would struggle to name all of the vehicles built between 1947 and the early 1970s, much alone all of those cars plus those created since the early 1970s. Along with your random 160 CXS, 212s, 400 Super Americas, and 500 Superfasts constructed by various coach builders, the general model designations of 250, 275, 330, and 365 have countless versions, both street and racing, and occasionally blurred. It is a lot to keep up with, yet it has never harmed the vehicle company's reputation. Not to mention the handful of one-of-a-kind vehicles made for affluent and distinguished clientele. Ferrari has and will construct versions of vehicles in their range with changed bodywork and paint treatments, but seldom if ever any meaningful alterations to the chassis/motor/suspension/etc. Given the proper person and money. This video has come to an end. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel before leaving.